Thank you for listening to another Real Sense Now show. It's your host, Dawood Bedrosian. If you don't know what the show is all about, we've designed the show Real Sense Now to share and give you the facts on what's trending in the real estate market, the economy, ways to find some lucrative investments, what to look for when searching for a property or vacation home, some tips and tricks on buying a fix or flip, basically anything and everything that you need to know about the real estate market. Most importantly, we're here to show you how owning real estate is the cheat code to success, plus a whole lot more. If you're tuning in for the first time, we're live every Saturday at 11 a.m. with an hour-long show where we cover all things real estate. Now listen, I say this all the time, I'm just the news guy. Bad, good, or ugly, just like the weatherman, you can't get mad at him. I'm just here to deliver the news. And in times of uncertainty, people look to leaders for answers. It's a time to stay educated in order to get the right perspective so that you can A, help yourself to get the answers to the hard questions and make confident decisions when buying or selling a home, navigating through the turbulent times of your business, or even starting a new business, or even expanding on your real estate portfolio. No matter what the time is, it just seems like there's a lot of noise out there and it's hard to filter through all of the noise in order to stay informed, educated, and start to make the right decisions in order to move forward. It seems like every article or news program you tune into fixates the reader, the viewer, on the shared doom and gloom story of all that's trending currently right now in our economy, politically, and of course in our real estate market. And from the sounds of it, it's not good. And you know what I've done? I've tuned out of all of that. But it becomes challenging because as I come to prepare the show on a weekly basis, I'm often thinking about what it is that I want to present to all of my viewers, all of my listeners. And I'm often struck with the same type of topics that come up all the time. And I have to ask myself, what if the US dollar lost its status relative to other currencies overnight? What if there's a rampant inflation that makes $1,000 US dollars of purchasing power down to $100 overnight? What if the economy absolutely tanks and slows down to a standstill in the next 3 months? People ask me all the time, is now the right time to invest in the real estate market, or should I be waiting? And everybody seems to be an expert on what's about to happen. And from experience, I've come to realize that it's not true. Nobody really knows. And those who do know, play it safe, and those who make the moves are making educated moves in order to make the right decisions as they step into their future. So if you're exposed to the news or to family members or friends who are, chances are there are some subtle undercurrents in your mind when you're thinking about where to invest next. These may sound a bit far-fetched when I state them so clearly, but the reality is many people worry about the things that are running in the back of their mind. And this is where I want to talk about what I want to talk about today. When we fully looked at what's happening right now, it often feels like they show themselves as sheep in wolf's clothing. Inflation is a reality. Our market is shifting. The question still remains, should you be investing or should you not be investing in anything? But no matter what we look at, we should not have a short-term view on investing into our future. It should always be on a longer-term horizon, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, whatever the case may be, and come up with a longer-term plan in order to counteract whatever economic indicators such as inflation, interest rate rises, so that you're investing and not gambling. And that's what I really want to talk about today. I want to figure out how can we learn the game, the real game, of how to navigate through life to make the best decisions for yourself and your family. You see, the game starts not with the moves that you make in the outside world, but the moves that we tend to make on the inside. And the inside that I'm talking about is our mindset. The game that's actually taking place in our mind that either A, puts us out of the game, or allows us to fully become engaged in it. No matter what happens, we have desires for the future that we want, but many people fail before they begin. Why? because the success comes in taking action. And when I mean action, I mean massive action. But what if there was a shortcut? And what if I can present that shortcut to you today? My guest, who's sitting right in front of me, has been a guest of the show more than once. And for this very reason, it's exactly the reason why we bring her back all the time. She helps high achievers achieve the goals and reach their full potentials, sift through their mental fluff to clear the path and attain the goals that they desire even faster. Roe Salde is a serial entrepreneur with leadership experience and a passion for helping high achievers and eager professionals tap into their subconscious mind to succeed in their professional and personal development. She uses her natural positive outlook and solution-oriented mindset to help her clients reprogram the way of thinking and support them on their journey to achieve their goals and gain, most importantly, clarity in times such as this. Rose is a certified neurolinguistic programming master, practitioner, and a hypnotherapist who specializes in the impact of the subconscious mind on all aspects of life, the power of words, and strategies to excel. Ro, thank you for being a part of my show.
Thank you for having me, Dawood, and thank you for the kind introduction.
My pleasure.
It. Thank you.
So before we get started, I think what's on everybody's mind is neurolinguistic programming is a big title and a big word. And maybe a lot of people don't even know what it is. In short, a lot of people better know it as NLP. Can you briefly describe what NLP and hypnotherapy are and how do they work together?
So briefly, I'll explain. NLP is actually based on hypnosis and psychology. NLP would be studying excellence and modeling it in order to be able to copy it and model this behavior, whatever it is that you want. Is it want to achieve a goal or anything that you want in life? Hypnotherapy, obviously, we've all heard about it, and it's got a bad reputation.
Is that like help me stop smoking or like stop drinking or something like that?
Yeah, it's more than that. It's just the easiest way to explain hypnosis is you have the option to tap your imagination as if you were a kid and you were able to do anything you wanted. So when we're adults, this kiddish imagination that you can do anything in your dreams or you can be anything you want to be in your life is gone because life comes in.
Correct.
When we do hypnosis, we just access that kid inside of you that can believe anything can happen, and then everything happens.
I think the unfortunate part or the anti-Peter Pan syndrome that we have as adults is that we stop believing that certain things are possible. Sometimes we often face a certain limited belief and often find that we're struggling with a personal sabotage that's not allowing us to actually achieve the goals that we want to achieve. How do you feel that what you do through NLP and hypnotherapy can actually help people break through that?
That's a very interesting question. So one thing I do with my clients is I have them write a list of limiting beliefs that they have, because a lot of people are not even aware of their limiting beliefs, and only when they put them in front of them, they're like, oh, I didn't even know it's a limiting belief. Sorry. And once you realize what your limiting beliefs are, you're actually aware of them, and now you understand that they're limiting you in some way. And from there, we break them. We just break them with NLP, with hypnosis, whatever it is, whatever it takes to break this limiting belief so you can get to the next level.
I know there's a lot of people out there, including myself, that want to go out and start new businesses or want to, explore their options of the deepest passions that they have, and either they're based in fear for not being able to go out and do them, or maybe they believe that, they don't have the right resources, maybe not the right education, not the right money to be able to invest in that adventure, or, business opportunity that they may have. And oftentimes they're just basically stuck in the mud, unable to move forward. I've heard people like Tony Robbins say that it's not resources, it's about being resourceful.
Yeah, that's very
Would
true.
you agree?
Yeah, that's very, very true. And being resourceful is the main thing. But if you have a mental block that doesn't even let you tap this those resources that are all around us. It's like, somebody said it to me one time. I told him, knowledge is free, wisdom is priceless. And then he answered back, knowledge is knowing tomato is a fruit. Wisdom, it's knowing not to put it inside a salad. And I think it's connected in a way that a lot of people...
Hold on a second. I like tomatoes in my salad. What are you talking about?
No, in a fruit salad.
Oh,
sorry.
fruit salad.
Yeah,
okay, I was about to say. Hey, it could be like a cool chef fruit salad or something or the other.
I killed it.
I know, you killed me. Sorry.
I killed it.
Okay,
so
it's
thank you
okay.
for correcting me. I
like it.
But yeah, that was the same. So I'll take it to me, okay? I'll give myself as an example. So I own businesses. Like I said, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm backing it up. Yes, I had 2 businesses, very successful before that also. And there was a point in my life, which is probably about 5 or 6 years ago, when it was very scary, because I've decided that I want to pursue what I'm doing now and become a hypnotherapist and become an NLP master practitioner. And I didn't have the skills, and I didn't have the knowledge. It's something that I had to acquire. And I think it's the main thing, that you gotta start small bites, and people always go all the way to the end, and it looks so overwhelming that they don't start. With just start, even if it's like, I have people talking to me right now and like, we wanna study hypnotherapy, but we don't know where to start. Because when you open let's study hypnotherapy, you see 2-3 years of going to school, or then you see 3 months and you can become a hypnotherapist, or you don't know what to choose. So what I tell them is just start with reading a book.
Yeah, I think you really need to step into the future that you want to create in your life. You're touching on so many different aspects, and obviously as I'm listening to you, the best part about having these conversations is you learn and you are coaching through sharing or teaching or exploring the different possibilities. And I think I encountered this concept of creating your own reality, or using your thoughts or imaginations, or power of intention or manifestation, however which way you want to call it. I think as far back as 2003 or 2004, when I read an incredible book by an author who no longer is with us, ex-Floridian, Wayne Dyer, who wrote the book Power of Intention. And it was a really powerful book. And basically what Wayne was trying to explain was, by aligning your thoughts and the intentions on what we desire, we can essentially manifest and attract those desires into our life, both positive and negative. And that's why it was very important to emphasize and the ability to harness the thoughts, the beliefs, the desires to create the life that we want. Mm-hmm. And to be able to have positive thoughts, to be able to sort of feel our way, is the best way to put it, into the life we wanted, and to become open to it, to attract the things that reflect back upon us, the people, the opportunities, the businesses, the love, the friendships, so on and so forth, in order to go out and create the life that we want. But coming from more of a pragmatic way, where we can use more of the tools that you have, we understand that language and communication techniques with what you do really drastically improves that personal and professional relationship, not only within yourself, but within the people that you surround yourself in order to actualize your desires. How do you use or employ the techniques that you do in NLP in order to have people achieve these successes?
So it's funny, because every time I start with a new client, the first thing I do is I listen to their language. And for the first session, I'll say nothing. I'll just listen to the words they use with me, with themselves, or whatever it is. And then the second session, I'll start correcting them constantly, and I will keep doing it until we're done with our sessions. By that time, they already catch themselves and they change their own language, but they would use words like I have to, I need to, I can't do it, my life would end if I'll ABC, and I will constantly change their language to a positive one. So you don't say I need to, you say I get to, because that's more positive. And the reason we do that is because, I'll tell you something, and it's connected to hypnosis. So our unconscious mind is amoral. It doesn't distinguish between good or bad. So you can plant sunflowers in it, we talked about it before, and you can plant poison ivy in it. They're both thrive. They'll both keep on growing. So if you're planting something, might as well plant something positive that can actually thrive in there. So that's what I do, because the words that you use with other people as well are so important. And I can tell you, like, okay, so I'll tell you a small story. I'm sorry, I have a cough for like 2 weeks.
It's okay.
I don't know what it's from. Anyway, I'll tell you a story that I was talking to a colleague, not a colleague actually, a friend in a party, and she was telling me about her son that he's 13, okay, the boy's 13, and he's super, super successful, very, those golden boys that whatever they touch, they just excel in.
Gold, yeah. They have the magic
Everything
touch.
turned to gold. Yeah, they have the magic touch, whatever they touch is, they just excel in it. The thing, in her point of view, is that he never actually stays with something.
Oh, okay. So he has a commitment issue.
No, not necessarily. You see, A is 13.
Okay.
B, so I'm listening to her talking to me, and I'm listening to what she's saying. I'm listening between the words, because that's what I do.
Yeah.
And she's telling me that right now, for example, whatever he did is always like getting to gymnastic. He can be like the best. He can go to Olympics, but then he gets to a certain point, and then he doesn't care anymore. And then he did it again with golf, and then I'm hearing between the words that she said the words. She said he had a golf tournament, and he didn't know how to play golf that good, but he stayed all night, studied for it, and then he excelled and he won first place, and then he didn't want to play anymore. Point is, and then I told her, listen, it sounds to me like he's just enjoying the challenge of finding something that he doesn't know. Once he conquers it, he doesn't care anymore, and that's okay, because there will be a time when he's gonna find something that keeps on playing with his soul and he wants more. But if you're gonna keep telling him that he's gotta choose something, that he's not committed, the one time that he's gonna fail in something, he's gonna say, my mom was right. I haven't committed and this is why I'm failing. So you're planting something in his subconscious mind, which is not necessarily true. You're just looking through your own lens. He's just gifted, and he's 13. And he just doesn't know what he wants to do yet. He will find his way.
Living his best life, yeah.
Yeah, like, what do you want from him, pretty much? And she realized it, and she said, that's exactly what I'm doing.
It's incredible, because I reflect back on a personal story that I had as well, and I feel like I had many of those qualities as well too. I was bright in school, I was gifted in sports at the time, and you know, I was at a point in time where an aunt of mine was going to give me this gift that I've always wanted at the time. It was a Michael Jackson memorabilia, and she said the only way that you'd get it is if you got a gold medal in the race. And I was going through that race as fast as I could. I was leading the pack, and before you know it, my best friend just kind of came from behind me and beat me. And at that point in time, I was 7 years old, I just felt absolutely defeated. And I remember this deep sense of failure that I felt in my heart, that it took me years and years and years to really understand it and be able to work my way through it, to understand that it was just a remote, isolated incident that had nothing to do with the story that I had created or built in my head. And that's what I want to get into after the break. The power of the story that you create in your mind that runs the subconsciousness and allows you to take you out of the game, cause that self-sabotage that we all experience in our life, and it allows us not to take on life full on, to go out and appreciate and create all that we want to. I'm joined by my guest, Roe Salde. Thank you for being a guest on the show. I want you guys to stay tuned after the break. It's your host, Dawood Bedrosian. We're going to be talking about more about what the mind can achieve and how to create the perfect life we all desire. Stay tuned after the break. You're listening to Real Sense Now.